Welcome guys to a brand new Pokemon playthrough on the Marcanine channel. This is obviously Pokemon Yellow version. Very excited to be jumping into this. We had just completed Pokemon Blue and now we're returning to Kanto once again, just to kind of see what the differences are between the Red and Blue generation and the Yellow generation, both part of Gen 1, but you know what I mean. It was a few years later. Red and Blue came out in 96, and I think it was, what, 98, 99, somewhere around there where Yellow came out. But nonetheless, there's a lot to explore and a lot of new things to experience, so without further ado, let's jump in. Hello there, welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak. People call me the Pokemon Professor. This world is inhabited by creatures called Pokemon. For some people, Pokemon are pets. Others use them for fights. Myself, I study Pokemon as a profession. First, what is your name? That's one of the biggest changes, I think, from Red and Blue to Yellow. Well, it is the biggest change, not one of it, is the biggest change, is that Red and Blue came out first, and then we had the anime that followed Ash Ketchum, and then we had Yellow, which followed after the anime. So Red and Blue inspired the anime and the franchise as a whole, but Pokemon Yellow instead adopted a lot of the themes and decided that they were going to go ahead and just, you know, follow Ash and his team. Now, obviously, I'm not going to pick Ash. We're going to go ahead and go with my name this time around as well. I typically do that for my playthroughs. But yeah, it'll be exciting to see Jesse and James. They're not mentioned by name, but it's obviously them when you fight Team Rocket, which is pretty cool. Right, so your name is Mark. Yeah. This is my grandson. He's been your rival since you were a baby. What is his name again? In this case, we are going to actually change this. When we did our Pokemon Blue playthrough, because we did them back to back, so it was Pokemon Blue, we completed that in 30 episodes, and then jumped right into Yellow immediately after. I had him named Blue Oak, but I'm going to change that this time, and we are going to go with Gary this time. Gary is without question my favorite Pokemon character, like, ever. I love him. Smell you later! He's the best. That's right, I remember now, his name is Gary. Mark, your very own Pokemon legend is about to unfold. A world of dreams and adventures with Pokemon awaits. Let's go. Now, for the most part, the beginning is fairly, like, similar. But one thing that I really like is that now we have a different color palette. Whereas Red and Blue obviously had red and blue as, like, dominant colors, this is nicer that we get a variety of color changes, which is pretty cool. Mark turned on the PC. I got a lot of flack for not doing this before. Going to the PC and pulling out the potion first, which you can pull the PC or the potion out of the PC from literally any location, but it's wise to get it in the beginning since it's such a weak item and you're going to need it on your journey. Right, all boys leave home someday. It's said on TV. Professor Oak next door is looking for you. I'm raising Pokemon too. When they get strong, they can protect me. I hate that a woman just walking around this peaceful village has to worry about being protected.
Technology is incredible. You can now store and recall items and Pokemon as data via PC.
Oh, Pokemon Research Lab. Was there a sign for Pallet Town? This must be it. I think I must have overlooked it. Pallet Town. Shades of your journey await. Which, I mean, you probably already know this. I doubt I'm telling you something you haven't heard before. But the Pokemon games focus on a lot of color trends, right? Palette is your main one, and then all the other cities are named after colors. So this is kind of interesting that they word it that way. Very clever tongue-in-cheek, like, themes and things like that. Oh, you know what? That's right. He's not even inside. We have to go up here to the grass, I think. Gary's house. Who has a sign that just says whose house it is out front? I attribute it to more like a mailbox, but whatever. Hey, wait! Don't go out! I might change Oak's voice throughout this playthrough. It's just something that I'm kind of doing. That was close. Wild Pokemon live in tall grass. A wild Pikachu here. Oak is obviously a hacker because there's no Pikachu in this grass ever in any other situation. Wow, congratulations, Oak. You got yourselves a Pikachu. Phew! A Pokemon can appear anytime in tall grass. You need your own Pokemon for protection. I know. Here, come with me. just me or is Oak's body transparent? We're seeing like the little specks on the ground. That was weird. I don't know, whatever. Gramps, I'm fed up with waiting.
Gary, why are you here already? I said for you to come by later. Oh, whatever. Just wait there. Look, Mark, do you see that Pokeball on the table? It's called a Pokeball, or that, whatever. It holds a Pokemon inside. You may have it. Go on, take it.
Hey, Gramps, what about me?
Be patient, Gary. I'll give you one later.
No way, Mark. I want this Pokemon.
Gary snatched the Pokemon. I like how it has a celebratory, like, item noise or whatever. Gary, what are you doing?
Gramps, I want this one.
But oh, all right then. That Pokemon is yours. I was going to give you one anyway. Mark, come over here.
Man, we could have gotten an Eevee as a starter. Son of a...
Mark, this is the Pokemon I caught earlier. You can have it. I caught it in the wild, and it's not tame yet. Wonderful. Do you want to give a nickname to a Pikachu?
Damn, I'm not really a nickname person. Hey, my Pokemon looks a lot stronger.
Yeah.
Wait, Mark. Let's check out our Pokemon. Come on, I'll take you on.
Now, his Eevee evolves into one of the 3 available evolutions in Gen 1, and it also depends, I think, on a certain combination of wins and losses you have against him that determines it. He's almost always going to have a Flareon if you beat him every time, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember which one was more rare, Jolteon or Vaporeon. Let's actually look that up real quick. I know, I hate to interrupt the playthrough, but let's take a look. Yellow, Rival, Eevee evolution. Okay, so I think Bulbapedia has a pretty good breakdown article on this, but let's take a look. All right, let's see. Okay, so as this game uses non-traditional starter Pokemon, the rival will start with Eevee. Eevee will evolve into Vaporeon, Flareon, or Jolteon, depending on the results of 2 early battles against the player. The first battle at Professor Oak's lab in Pallet Town, and the optional second battle on Route 22. Vaporeon. The player loses against the rival at Oak's lab. Flareon. The player wins against the rival at Oak's lab, but loses or skips the battle on Route 22. Jolteon. The player wins against the rival at both locations. Interesting. Player wins against the rival. That must be it. I must have skipped that battle on Route 22 at some point, because I think it's talking about, if I'm not mistaken, I think that Route 22 is what? Just to the left of Viridian, right? Western Route connects Viridian City and the east of Pokemon. Yeah, exactly. So I think when we were playing Pokemon Blue, we didn't have a battle. We talked to Gary. He was there, or Blue in that case. But we didn't have to fight him because we showed up when we were on our way to the Pokemon League, I think, if I remember correctly. So yeah, so I guess if you fight him or it's optional here, or you fight him and you beat him here, then and you skip that battle, then he's Flareon. But if you beat him here and then go back and beat him there, it's Jolteon, which means we're probably going to run into a Jolteon encounter with him then, because I want to do that battle this time, because I remember if I didn't do it in Blue, and I was like, dang, I really feel like we missed that. See, it's also nice because the palette, not only have all the Pokemon physically changed in their front-facing sprites, I think almost all of them are probably the same from Red, Blue, Yellow. I think they're all the same back sprite. But at least now there's different colors for them, and it highlights a lot of their designs so much more. This is a massive jump. From Red and Blue to Yellow, this is a massive jump in design philosophy. It's very, very cool. Oh, we get Thundershock right away. I thought we learned it like at level 6. Oh, paralyzed him right out of the gate. Hell yeah. Suck on that, Eevee. And Eevee should only know what? Like Sand Attack? No, I guess Tail Whip and Tackle. Another really great thing is, as well, this doesn't have, as mentioned, a conventional starter lineup of the 3 core elements, Fire, Water, and Grass. You do get all 3 starters in this game, which I'm so stoked for, which means that by the time we get to our the Elite Four, we're going to have Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur, which is excellent. I think this is one of the very few games without a breeding thing that lets you do that. Lets you get them all.
What? Unbelievable. I picked the wrong Pokemon.
I also think that you guys just witnessed history for me. This is the very first time in my life, I think, that I've ever faced our rival and taken no damage. I don't think that's ever happened to me before.
Okay, I'll make my Pokemon fight to toughen it up. Mark, Gramps, smell you later. Oh, that's right. Pikachu follows you. That's right. It is a little weird, though, hearing Pikachu, like, say its name. I was never really a fan of that, but whatever. Would you look at that? It's odd, but it appears that your Pikachu dislikes Pokeballs. You should just keep it with you. That should make it happy. You can talk to it and see how it feels about you. So there's something that I wanted to share that I thought was really interesting. I had mentioned this before, I think, in my Pokemon Blue playthrough at some point, but in any case, so in Generation 2, when you face Red on top of the mountain, in Gold and Silver, when you fight him, he has a level 81 Pikachu, which is a very, very peculiar level to be at. It's very specific. Why 81? Well, someone on Reddit actually calculated this out, and I thought this was really interesting and worth sharing. This guy says, I just finished playing Pokemon Yellow with Solo Pikachu. So apparently, if you beat every single trainer in the Kanto region, including the Elite Four and the Champion, once without losing, or rare candies, or getting experience from random encounters, Pikachu gets up to exactly level 81, which is the same level as Red's Pikachu in Gold, Silver, Crystal. Isn't that interesting? That's so cool. So he has a level 81 Pikachu because in this game, in Yellow version, he takes his Pikachu and he beats everybody with it, and that's how much experience it takes to get to level 81. Fascinating stuff. Really fascinating. You should talk to it and see how it feels. I did. He's... little butthole. Oh my god, it's funny. I love his little waddle. Look at him. Look at that little shake. It's even cuter from here. Doot, 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 doot. That's the best. Actually, I wanted to go talk to those NPCs real quick, but let's see what he says. I study Pokemon as Professor Oak's aide. Okay, who's the girl? Professor Oak is the authority on Pokemon. Many Pokemon trainers hold him in high regard. Crammed full of Pokemon books. Okay, let's move on. Now, you should be able to level up Pikachu pretty easily, I think, in the grass, because you'll encounter a lot of Pidgey there. See, look at that. The color change is such a nice adjustment. That's so cool. Hi, I work at a Pokemon Mart. It's a convenient shop, so please visit us in Viridian City. I know, I'll give you a sample. Here you go. It's so cool to be having a Pikachu walk around behind you. It's so fun. Look at the change in Pidgey's design. It actually looks like a Pokemon now. Yeah, I hope to be able to level up Pikachu quite a bit against a lot of the Pokemon we're going to be facing before I even get to Viridian Forest. Simply because we're going to need that, but we're going to need to expand our team beyond what I typically have, because there's no way that we're going to be able to beat Brock with Pikachu. It's just not going to happen. Unless Pikachu somehow gets to be up to a super high level and has non-electric type moves that can do some damage. But I think we'll probably end up having like maybe Nidoking on the team at some point. But I'll likely start off with a Nidoran, which I should be able to find somewhere in the general vicinity. Maybe the patch of grass just in between Route 2 and Pewter. So there's like that patch of grass there just before you go into the city. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. See those ledges along the road? It's a bit scary, but you can jump from them. You can get back to Pallet Town quicker that way. Because I don't want to have any bug Pokemon on the team. I'm not really interested in that. So it's probably not going to happen. Alright, we're going to heal up. I love this little Pikachu, this little derpy. Oh, that's right, and look at that. Just like in the anime too, Nurse Joy has a Chansey by her side. I don't think that was very common, was it? I don't think that happened. She didn't have a Chansey there in Red and Blue. These are the small little nuances that we're going to experience throughout the game that I'm really excited about. Look at the little Pikachu. Oh my gosh. You want to know about the two kinds of caterpillar Pokemon? Sure. Caterpie has no poison, but Weedle does. Watch out for its poison sting. Hey, you came from Pallet Town? You know Professor Oak, right? His order came in. Will you take it to him? I pointed this out in my Blue playthrough, but I never knew what a parcel was when I first started playing Pokemon games. I was like, parcel? What the heck is that? I've never heard it called that. And yeah, nowadays I feel like I hear it a little bit more often. But yeah, parcel is just a package. It's a fancy way for package. The shop finally has some potions in stock. This shop sells a lot of paralyze heals. I don't know, I just thought that was interesting.
My dumb little kid brain didn't know what a parcel was, but it was introduced to it in this game. I like how Pikachu just doesn't even jump. He's just like, whatever, dude. He'll just walk through walls. It's so cool. I love the color change. His little butt. Oh, Mark. How is my old Pokemon? Well, it seems to like you a lot. No, it doesn't. You must be talented as a Pokemon trainer. What? You have something for me? Ah, this is the custom Pokeball I ordered. Thanks, Mark. By the way, I must ask you to do something for me. Gramps! This music's so good. Gramps, my Pokemon has grown stronger. Check it out. Ah, Gary, good timing. I needed to ask both of you to do something for me. On the desk there is my invention, Pokédex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. Mark and Gary, take these with you. To make a complete guide on all the Pokemon in the world. That was my dream. But I'm too old, I can't do it. So I want you two to fulfill my dream for me. Get moving, you two. This is a great undertaking in Pokemon history. Alright, Gramps, leave it to me. Mark, I hate to say it, but I don't need you. I know, I'll borrow a town map from my sis. I'll tell her not to give you one. God, I just want to kick that kid in the face sometimes. Alright, let's go get ourselves a town map. Grandpa asked you to run an errand? Here, this will help you. I remember one time there was a playthrough that I had just been doing for fun. I didn't even grab the town map. I'd forgotten to grab it, and I didn't get it until like way later. Alright, let's see what we got. Pikachu, we need to get you to level 10, I think, before we can get to Brock, and by then, hopefully we'll have a Nidoran on our team. I do believe we should be able to encounter it, though. Let me take a look and see. Let's take a look and take a look. And take a look and take a look and take a look. Bulbapedia. It's my go-to for literally everything that I look at for Pokemon. Okay, so game locations. Pokedex entries, game locations. Yellow, routes 2, 9, 10, and 22. So 22 you can get it if you just go off to the side to the left, but I'm not ready to face our rival yet, but I don't know how early you can face him. Let's take a look and see exactly what that battle is. Mandatory battle. For each of his Pokemon, Blue has Potion. He uses Squirtle. Pokemon Yellow. Interesting. Interesting. So listen to this. For each of his Pokemon, Blue has a potion that he uses 12.5% of the time if the HP falls below 20%. So what is his team? If Eevee evolved into Vaporeon... Huh. There's a Generation 3 optional battle. I guess there is an optional battle there. Route 22. So what do you have? Oh, okay. So check this out. So he has a mandatory battle here and an optional battle. But there's one or the other. So there's an optional battle in Route 22 where he has level 9 Spearow and a level 8 Eevee. And later, he has Pokemon that are all level 40s and 50s. Man, the sprites look really cool. I'm really excited about all these. When you face him later is a mandatory battle. So his optional battle is relatively low, but he would probably beat me just because my Pikachu's not strong enough. The Spearow would take a total beating, though, just because it's a flying type. Man, the sprite work is so good, and it's amazing to see different colors. Like, later on, he eventually has an Execute on his team, and it actually has pink as a color. Whereas you have blue for Vaporeon, the yellows and oranges for Ninetales, and so on. It's really cool. Really great work in this game. I'm really stoked. Flareon is such a cool sprite in this. I love it. It looks so good. I love Flareon's sprite. Jolteon's is okay, Vaporeon's is okay, but Flareon looks freaking amazing. I should be able to get an Eevee myself at some point, I believe. Let me see real quick. I want to see if I can get one, because I don't remember if it's in the same spot, you know? I don't think Eevee is in the same spot as Red and Blue, but it might be. Let's take a look and see. Entries, game locations, Yellow. Received from a person in Celadon Mansion. Interesting. Red and Blue says it's received from a person in Celadon Mansion as well, but you don't actually receive it from anyone. You just go in there and you just take it off the table. So I don't know if Yellow is the same way. I don't remember. But yeah. I wonder, can you put Pikachu in the box? I don't think I've ever tried. It seems a little rude to do that. But I wouldn't mind doing it only because I don't want to hear Pikachu say his stupid cry every single time we use him. But I also don't know what the stats are like for Pikachu. Like, if I level him up, how strong is he compared to, like, I don't know, some other electric type that I'd put on my team by that time that would have a full evolutionary line? Like, I don't know if Pikachu gets a stat boost when you can't evolve him into Raichu. Like, let me take a look. Can we get a Raichu in the game? Because if so, I might just shove Pikachu in the box. I don't think we can get it, though. Yeah, he's not available. Raichu is not available. Ah, it's so annoying. Although, technically, if you wanted to, you could trade out your Pikachu, evolve it in another game, and then trade it back, and then you could have a Raichu. Nothing, he wouldn't follow you anymore, though. We're gonna go fight Gary again in a second, but I want to level up a little bit more. So I'm also surprised we haven't seen a Rattata yet. Which is fine, though, because that means that the Pidgey is basically free experience. Because we should be able to stomp these guys, these little birdies. Come on. Yes, thank you. I don't want him to hit me with a gust because he's strong. And he did anyway. I do think we should heal up, though. I don't want to run the risk of knocking him out. I'm not playing any sort of Nuzlocke rules or anything like that, but I do want to avoid knockouts as much as possible if I can. In the blue playthrough, I only had a couple of knockouts, but I just made a couple of mulligan exceptions when I had them get defeated. Chansey looks so goofy. I like how Pikachu gets on the table and then just like jumps off. All right, let's see. So remember how in Red and Blue they had the unique Pokemon sprites? Or I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. The non-unique Pokemon sprites. Like a lot of different Pokemon look the same. Like Lapras and Blastoise have the same sprite. So the Pikachu sprite is a new one. We haven't seen this sprite before, and I don't know if Pidgey has a unique sprite when it's in the inventory or like a bird. I don't know. I don't remember that either. I want to get Pikachu to at least level 9 so then we can go challenge Gary. Come on, get there, buddy. We got to be close. What is his stat right now? Stat data. 58 to level 8. Okay. So a handful of additional battles, and then we should be able to get him up to the next one. Hey, there's a Rattata. It's a really cool design work, I think, for it. It's just not a Pokemon that I care about. He'll probably live through that hit, though, because he doesn't have any really... Yeah. He doesn't have a disadvantage by element here. It's also curious that they made him sort of this weird, like, yellow-gray color. I don't know what... That's a weird color choice, since he's obviously purple. Oh, you know what? I realize they don't have genders assigned to these Pokemon either. Man, I'm actually... Playing this game, I was looking forward to it, to jumping into Yellow ever since we got to Blue, but I've also been looking forward to, once all this is done, jumping into the Gen 2 games, just because I love the artwork so much. Oh, Thunderwave already. Well done. The artwork and Pokemon design in Gold and Silver is super fantastic. It was really amazing, I think, as a player when you finally, like, beat Red and Blue, and then maybe you put the games to the side for a little bit, and then by the time that happened, Yellow would come out, and you were like, whoa, that's crazy, like, Pokemon Yellow, that's nuts, like, what's different? And then you play that, and even though there's a lot of similarities, and even now, like, we're playing Red and Blue, or I guess Blue, and then jumping into Yellow immediately after, for the purpose of seeing what's different. Like, I'm not... Like, I don't feel exhausted from it, you know what I mean? It's not, it doesn't feel copy and pasted, even though most of it is. The new sprite work, the storyline, the character changes, like, those sorts of things that are just adjusted ever so, I don't know, slightly. It just feels like, it feels like a whole new game. But when you were done with that, when you were done with Yellow, and Gold and Silver came out, that changed everything. That was such a massive change in quality of life, in features, functions, Pokemon that were just added, like new elements. There was so much speculation. I actually remember when I was playing Pokemon Yellow, and Japan had gotten, I don't know if they had gotten Gold and Silver already or what, but I remember just hearing about it because something happened where some kid, like, I was living in a crummy little apartment as a little kid, and some kid came to my door, and, you know, whatever, some kid in the apartment neighborhood, and he had some Japanese Pokemon cards, and one of them was of Cyndaquil, and the other one was of Hoot Hoot. And I was like, these aren't real. What is this? And he was like, oh, these are Pokemon cards from Japan. I didn't believe him. As a kid, I was a skeptic. I was like, this is BS. Like, these are fake cards. You just, what, did you print these off at home or your printer? But no, they were real. We didn't know what they were called or what the Pokemon's names were because they were in Japanese. And we didn't have any tools of, like, translation or anything like that. And there was no real, like, huge internet presence, or at least at the time, a lot of people didn't have internet at their house, so there was no way to verify whether or not it was real or what it said or any of that. And I just remember seeing it, and I was like blown away when eventually it came out to be real, that Cyndaquil was a starter, and I was like, oh, that's what it's called, Cyndaquil. That's so cool. It was a wild time. Being a kid in the early ages of Pokemon when it first came out was wild. Being in elementary school when Pokemon games came out was crazy. I think it was even funnier, thinking about it now, is that eventually kids got so, like, shady when it came to trading card deals and stuff that places like elementary school recess and daycare, you were not allowed to, like, bring Pokemon cards anymore because kids would fight over them and they would just be stealing and all that stuff. I remember in elementary school, kids were like trading Pokemon cards like a little drug deal, like like out behind the slide or something like that. They were just like, okay, there's their teacher around. They pull the card out and they're all like, all right, here you go. Here's your, you know, whatever. And it is so funny. So funny. Oh my god. That was crazy. Just imagine. Oh man, the Pokemon era was nuts for kids. So good though. There has not been any other trend or anything like that since. I mean, you have a lot of people with, like, or a lot of kids with iPhones now in school and like other smart devices, or like their stupid apps that they have, really, you know, Musically and TikTok and all that garbage, you know, whatever. And there's probably a limit to what you're allowed to have in school in terms of, like, your cell phone's not allowed out or whatever, or teachers confiscate it till the end of the day, or your parent has to come pick it up or something. I imagine they'd probably be pretty annoyed if, like, you were an elementary school kid and you had your phone out or something on recess just watching TikToks the whole time. But yeah, Fortnite, TikTok, those things I can see being popular, but nothing compares to, like, the Pokemon era. That was very unique. Very unique experience. Alright, so we're level 9 now. I don't know if I'll be able to... I don't know if I'll be able to beat Gary with a level 9 Pikachu with Eevee and Spearow, but we'll see. I'm assuming he'll probably throw his Spearow out first. Let's take a look and see how that works for us. We'll save it just to be on the safe side, and then we're going to encounter him because I missed this battle before. So he should be over here, and I think... yeah, we should be able to get a Nidoran, I think, in this patch of grass, but we'll worry about that in a minute. There he is. Hey, Mark. You're going to Pokemon League? Forget it. You probably don't have any badges. The guard won't let you through. By the way, did your Pokemon get any stronger? I don't remember fighting him in blue here, but I don't know. My memory sucks. I can't remember. That was a couple weeks ago because I'm recording these back to back, you know? All right, Spearow, what you got, bro? So we'll do massive damage to Spearow, but I gotta hit Eevee with a Thunder Wave right immediately. Oh, one-hit KO. Suck on that, Gary. Dirty little a-hole. All right, we're going to paralyze you first. Yeah, that's right. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and Thundershock you down to nothing. Nice. My tail whip failed on him. Oh man, this is the second time we've hit, like, no damage at all. Suck on that, Gary. Freaking dirtbag. Yeah, and we're level 10 now. Aw, you just lucked out. I heard Pokemon League has many tough trainers. I have to figure out how to get past them. You should quit dawdling and get a move on. That's cool. Sweet. All right, now I guess we're gonna head up north. We'll catch our Nidoran later. I think we'll probably grab that thing right before we get into Pewter City. But worry about all that and more when we continue on with our playthrough of Pokemon Yellow. For now, we're gonna be in Viridian. We'll save Viridian Forest for the next episode. But thank you guys for joining me on this brand new playthrough, Pokemon Yellow. I'm stoked about this. Looking forward to this playthrough for a long time, and I know some of you guys have been asking for it, so hopefully you're going to enjoy this as much as I am playing through it. For those of you guys that like to play alongside me, leave some comments and let me know what your team ends up being. I think a lot of us are probably going to stick to Pikachu, obviously, and then the starters, so Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur when they come. But we'll worry about all that and more in future episodes that are to come. New episodes of this playthrough will debut daily at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time right here in the Marcanine channel, so don't miss out on that. If you did enjoy this video, you can show your love by hitting the like button. Do not forget to subscribe if you haven't done that yet. As I mentioned, any feedback that you have for me, leave it in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I do reply to all initial comments because that's how the YouTube dashboard alerts me. So like if you leave a comment, I will see that and I will 100% reply every time. If you reply to that, I might not see the notification, so you can just like start a new comment thread, but I do try to reply to everybody. So, you know, your voice will be heard. Also, don't forget to take a look at the description box. There's some links there that might be of interest to you, one of which is a link to the Marcanine Community Discord server. If you want to be part of that group, you can chat with other people around the channel, including myself. You can ask for advice and games and tips, and if you want to trade with people, you can, you know, do that too. Trying to build a community, and it's growing slowly but steadily, so if you're interested, come check it out. Love to hear from you. Also in the description box, there is a link to geekoutpost.com. That is an entertainment media blog that I own, operate, run, manage, design, and write for. It's a pretty decent place to stay up to date on the latest entertainment and gaming news, reviews, and rumors if you're into that kind of thing. Otherwise, just know I appreciate you and your time, and I hope to see you when we continue on with more of our playthrough of Pokemon Yellow. All right, guys, that's it for me. Take care of yourselves. Be well. I'll see you around.